Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Rain Day Gaming. Today you guys are going to see the brand new Havoc and the Select Fire buff, which is actually insane, and I cannot wait to show you guys what that looks like. It's become one of my favorite weapons thus far in the last day or two of playing this new patch 1.1.1, and I can't wait to talk about it, theorycraft about it with you guys in the comment section below, and let me know what you guys think about it, of course. Today we're also playing Gibraltar, who got that new buff. We're going to go over all the buffs. This is going to be my first games kind of just talking about what I feel about these weapons, about Gibraltar now. Is he top tier? Is he somebody worth playing? Is he still the meme, the thick boy that he looks like? And we'll talk about whether he really jumps up. I think I want to make a video about the caustic separately, or just caustic separately, because I mean, he got a serious buff to his gas. A lot of people said, oh, it's insignificant, but it's 4 per tick. It is a big deal. Already starting off here with a little bit of damage onto a down target. We see the fight is happening there. And we've got the R99 EVA. This is a great early game combo. A lot of pressure and then a lot of cleanup secure with the EVA. Gonna slide in. 1 shot, 2 shot, 3 shot. Finish him off. Another couple of shots. I'm getting lower. But that fortified passive cleans it up. An easy dub. 2 kills to start out the day. So Fortified is Gibraltar's new passive. If you guys haven't noticed that one, you basically reduce your damage taken by 10%. And the big impact of this, guys, is that you will see yourself surviving little engagements probably 10% more of the time. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of moments, and I've got some footage of it. I don't know if I'll use it here, but there's a lot of moments where I'm getting out with like 1 health, 3 health, 5 health. And obviously, that's about 10%. If I would have taken the normal amount of damage I just took of, you know, maybe 100, if I still have 5, under 5, 10 health, that's basically the 10% fortified bonus damage reduction going in my favor. So I think it helps. Is it enough? I'm going to say no, not quite, to make him the best that he needs to be. And I thought this might be an overkill kind of thing, because that's, I mean, when you look at raw talent and raw stats, right? When someone just has 10% damage reduction, that could be a little difficult. But I feel like Gibraltar is still pretty susceptible due to his size. There's still mostly a lot of gunfights that I do lose just because they literally can't miss their clip in me. And I feel like that is just so inherently valuable. I love that they're looking this direction. But I don't know if this is the ending value. Maybe 15%. Maybe I'll keep playing with it, and you know, I'll have a different perspective on it. They also increase the gun shield health, and this is another big one. It allows you to just get that extra 25 basically damage onto your body, so to speak, because it's such a big shield, and that can be valuable as well. But I still feel that that shield breaks pretty quickly in a full engagement, since it's so easy to hit. It's so wide, and another thing about it is it's so blue. I mean, for crying out loud, this thing is like a beacon to the world. It's like shooting out a flare, except you're not shooting out anything. You're just holding down, aim down sights. Everyone can see it from everywhere on the map. I'd love to see if they could make it clear and then only maybe blue when it gets shot. There's a great post from someone on Reddit. It has about 10,000 upvotes about something like that, because I think it is a liability. I mean, when you use it, it's like, okay, I'm exposing myself pretty heavily here, and I think there's a way to get around that so that it also is a slight buff to him without doing any more stats. Now, one of the main reasons you guys may be here is to talk about the Havoc. And yes, the Havoc has gotten a huge buff, and in my opinion has turned into one of my more enjoyable weapons in all of Apex Legends. I'll tell you why. I like to get myself a 3 times, something like that, so I have the range to snipe. It's an extremely good weapon to allow you for some hit scan pressure, and one of the things you'll notice is that my mouse is messing up, so my ADS is going to flick in and out because I would press the button and it would automatically go back away. But look at this pressure we're applying with this hit scan. We just have to peek and poke. We do not have to be out. Somebody tries to scoop in. We've got the R99 for close range. This is one of my favorite combos now with Gibraltar, but look at the pressure. The range obviously was increased. That's that little mouse thing I was talking about that was just screwing up, making me go crazy while playing this game. And obviously you could just see that the distance, the impact that it has is pretty strong. The pressure has already been put onto this team. We've already downed one of their members who tried to push us, and we already have them in a corner. It's obviously done a couple of things that have made this a lot more effective. One, it's increased the ammo. So it's gone from 25 to 32 at base, and it's also dropped the cost per shot when you use the charge beam. And this has been extremely helpful. You've gone from having only 5 shots available, from it costing 5 and having 25 in the ammo bar, essentially, and then having 4 shots that it was costing, and now having 32 ammo in the magazine, which means that you're now able to shoot 8 times for the charge beam in a single clip. That is a big deal, and it's a lot of pressure. Not only that, they increase the damage basically in close range, and they increase the damage at range, and they increase the fall off distance, meaning that you'll do that damage from farther away, way farther away than you would have. Basically, almost timesing it by 2. Now, here's already great damage, and you see the pressure that we're able to keep as Gibraltar. Having that shield up is important. We hit him once on the Pathfinder the second time, knock him down 120, sends him into the ground, and that's going to put his teammates at a bit of an interesting quandary. They got to go pick him up, or they got to sit here and stay with the pressure. As you guys can see, this is one of the beautiful things about the 3 times is that at this range, that mid-range, it makes the Havoc a very deadly weapon. I think the 4 to 8 times or something like that, you know, I'm actually not sure if it can use it because it's not a dedicated sniper, but something longer than this wouldn't even be ideal because this is all you really need. The 72 damage headshot, and it's just hit scan. It appears right when it happens. I found this to be so much more potent than it was earlier, guys, and just this little demonstration hopefully gives you the intention to go ahead and try it out yourselves. We're getting flanked by another team on the right side as well, and that could be trouble. Trying to figure out where should I go. My teammate's a little split as well. They're popping out the smoke on the left-hand side, and he's getting shot from both ways, and that's that little ADS thing with my mouse that's just pissing me off. I want to throw my hands up into the sky and curse the heavens as to why me, but another 60 damage shot from the Havoc, and they're barely able to do anything to me. They've got to stay out there and try to fire with their weapons, keep me in line of sight. I just poke, 60 damage, no problem. Not too easily as they try to rotate. Now looking to finish her off. We've got 46, about 80 damage. She clearly went for a shield battery over there, and there's that freaking ADS that's just throwing me off, and now the gas is moving in. I've got to get out of here, and luckily somebody finishes her off. It might have just been the bleed out. It looks like it might have been. Nope. It was Miss Keisha maybe finishing off as got in. No, that was probably a different fight. I don't know how that happened, but we are in potential dire straits here, and I kind of need some meds. I don't know if I can make it. This circle's still moving, but we've already gotten 5 kills. So as we try to get ourselves some meds, this is a pretty important time. We do find a shield battery, another syringe. That should be helpful, and some more light rounds as well for the R99. This is a great combo for the Gibraltar and something I recommend for you guys if you want to check it out. Now, obviously, the new buffs are intended to continue being played with. One of the things I've found is that the Havoc has gotten not only better early game because of the increased ammo, it's got one of the highest basic damage per bullet in all of Apex Legends. I believe it's 18 to start out, simply just rocking the turbocharger version or the normal version without the select fire. And that's really, really strong. Adding an extra, whatever it is, you know, I guess 7 weapon ammo. If it's 18, I mean, you're adding over 100 damage to the clip, which is over killing someone one time over, essentially, which is really strong for a weapon of this caliber early game. And so I think it's risen in the early game status. I think it's risen in the select fire status. As a hit scan weapon, I think it's finally serving its purpose and feels potent enough to be considered. And one of the things I like to do, and the reason I'm kind of liking it a lot, is that if I find a select fire, it's now viable as a sniper, a mid-range sniper for me, and to keep pressure on from long range, and I can go with an R99 as my secondary. If it's something where I find the turbocharger, okay, then I'll replace it with maybe my R99 or my R301, more of the assault rifle category, and then I'll try to find a longbow, which also got buffed. So it's opened up a lot of loadouts to where now if I find a turbocharger select fire, I don't really care. I just augment my use of the Havoc, you know what I mean? And basically whether I want it for that close range or that long range, and then I find my secondary weapon to basically complement that. It's a really cool thing that was never possible with the Havoc before, and I'm just so excited that it exists now. And I want to hear your guys' thoughts as well. How have you been feeling about the new Havoc? Have you played it? Have you checked it out? Did you think that these were underwhelming? Did you think that these were overwhelming? We finally get to the edge of the gas, and luckily we have a little bit of respite here. But I want to hear your thoughts as well. This gameplay has been going on, and we have seen a lot of the potential of this weapon, and there's only more to be uncovered, and there's more that I haven't showed you guys. But oh man, a Wraith coming in on the right hand side as well. We're trying to finish her off. Missed so many of my R99 shots. Just throw an arc star because we're under pressure and we're trying to do the right thing. We do get a little bit of damage on that, and we go into the hit scan accidentally again with the ADS issue my mouse was having, but it ends up working out for us at the end of the day. Just getting a little syringe. Oh, and we see the Wraith go into the void walk there as well. She opens herself up. The Havoc, baby, the Havoc, finishing her off. King Slow-Mo, the kill leader, goes down, and that's what I'm talking about. Now, this has been a great showcase, guys, of what the Havoc can do and what the potential value of it is at range. So we're going to cut from here into another video that I'm excited to show you guys about, which is really a full gameplay with a little bit less of the excitement to it in some of the middle rounds, but showing off what it would look like to have a Havoc in your loadout and try to win a game. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. That last game did not end out great, but it was such a fun, frenetic start to a game with a great showcase of the Havoc that I felt like it was something that I wanted to show in this kind of a bigger upload today, because you know, there's a lot to talk about, of course, with the Gibraltar, with the Havoc. A lot of footage you guys probably want to see, and a real pacing of a real game is probably something that would also interest you all. So let me know if you enjoy this kind of style, where, you know, maybe you see some highlights from one match and then you maybe see another kind of normal pace match as well. I know it's a little bit for everybody, and so I'm trying to make sure that we have a really good video that goes out and that can be valuable for a lot of people for a lot of different reasons. Here we are with another team. We've got the Caustic as well, the Bloodhound, and my Gibraltar yet again. Like I said, I spent a lot of time playing Gibraltar last night and the day before, and you know, I enjoy him. I think that he's still like got that weakness of just being so big, and I'm excited for Fortified to really be an impact for him, but it just feels like it's not quite there. And I will say that it's better. And I will say these tweaks have really helped to balance out these legends, because, you know, I don't feel such a disadvantage going against a Wraith, going against a Pathfinder. Some of the hit registration things are probably the only big thing that makes me feel like helpless, because I feel like half of that stuff is really only for some of the smaller hitbox legends or the Pathfinder, basically. And the lack of mobility, I think, is one of the bigger keys for Gibraltar. Mobility is just so strong in general. But the fact is that when he doesn't have it and he's got a bigger body, you know, at 10% damage reduction, great idea. It helps, but it's really hard to offset somebody's mobility, and, you know, getting in and out of tight spaces, running you loops around the corner. One of the things you've noticed is that I'm using a lot of ultimate accelerants, because that is one of the biggest benefits if you're new to Apex Legends of Gibraltar. He brings a serious ultimate, and it is very good for a couple of things that you'll see in this gameplay, and you'll see when I play him. One, setting up kills. It's basically your shield, your tactical shield, is the exact amount of time your ultimate lasts. So you throw your ultimate out, and then you throw your shield down, and you will basically stay up with your shield for the entirety of your ultimate. We already see some damage going on here. We get 12, and we have the Havoc as well, trying to find it, but that control for the aim is crazy. The recoil is just going nuts, but we get 2 down, and we end up getting 2 kills for credit as they go and finish off the 3rd member. It was a pretty easy wipe for the fight, and just thanking my Caustic for immediately getting me back up. Sometimes you'll notice people will not really do that, because they'll just go and you know, loot and stuff like that, especially when the fight isn't happening. We don't really know that there's anybody who's around right now, so it seems like it might have been a better call just to get us all up and get us back into the action. One PSA as well for those watching: please continue to be good teammates, please. It's just really tough when you're playing, and, you know, in my position, I want to get good footage, but I just want to have good games, and it's tough when people will leave early, when people are toxic to each other. Just try to create a good community, guys. I mean, what goes around, it seems cliche, but what goes around comes around. I think if you put out good vibes, people will respond to that, and that's one of the best feelings. It's not a good feeling to put out trash and have people be trashy to you. It's a really good feeling to be a good person and to do the right thing, and to be more diligent with the way that you approach, you know, being a good teammate, and then all of a sudden have that happen back to you. It feels really nice. So obviously trying to get some meds here myself and trying to get a little bit more loot. But the Havoc does a lot of damage. I'm feeling very good about the Havoc in all situations, especially early game. You can see it took down 2 members. If I was just a little bit less exposed, probably could have taken down more. We find my 3 times, which is one thing that I haven't used. You know, sights and scopes, a little bit of a talk about that. Sights and scopes are very personal. They're very much your background in shooters, your background in vision, what you like, what helps to hone you in on your target. For me, HCOGs are really good. For me, hollows are super distracting. I'm not a huge hollow fan. I distract. I look at the outside instead of the red dot for whatever reason. Because of the way the HCOG is simulated, it focuses my energy and my eyes into the point where I'm actually shooting, and I feel like I just hit more shots. It's easier for me to stay on track and on focus, but it's going to be different for you. So make sure that you guys pay attention to that. Try it out. Again, this is the hollow. I'm not a big fan of that, but we will take some syringes though, and pinging all these things for my teammates. Another thing to do, if you know your teammates are getting geared and you guys have some time, ping for your teammates, because you may not need it, but they may. Anything of probably like a rare level or above, or if you see them pick up a shotgun and you see a shotgun bolt, go ahead and ping those things. They're very helpful for your teammates in this situation. I'm so excited though to be playing this. How do you guys feel about this new patch in general? Because I'm actually really liking it. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I just, you know, when I wake up in the morning and I make these videos, sometimes I'm just beholden with the pollen. Like, the pollen becomes me. I don't know what it is, but it's just something about the morning that sometimes can get me. So the looting phase is going pretty well for us. We won that first duel, and the Gibraltar is very much a team-oriented legend. And in my opinion, the way that I like to play aggressively, I find that the Gibraltar is a very big shift for me in my consciousness, and this may be you as well. If you play a lot of legends like Wraith or Lifeline, when you're playing Gibraltar, you have to think more team first, and you also have to think that I am vulnerable and I am really, really exposed. If you think that everyone's looking at you, everyone's got a line of sight on you, and that you're probably best used working with maybe one or two members of your team, Gibraltar can take a completely different approach in your mind. And this is one of those things that I think really are the nuances of being a better player in Apex Legends, shifting your mentality to the mentality that you have to be successful with that legend. And as you see me play Gibraltar versus you see me play Pathfinder, you're going to notice a little bit more patience. You're going to notice a little bit less of the aggressiveness that I would be if I'm able to swing in, swing out, zip line here and there, and have that insane mobility, or Wraith, where I'm able to get in to any situation and then just basically void walk out of it like I was never there. All those things are going to be different with Gibraltar, because you can't do that, and you just have to understand your limitations. It's one of the biggest things, in life too. If you understand what you're not good at, what you don't do well, then you can just not avoid it, but you can just put yourself in situations to be honest about the fact that, hey, that's not my strength. I give it up every day. I'm like, listen, you want me to draw something? I am not your guy. I cannot freaking paint. I cannot freaking draw. I cannot sketch for crap. Do not ask me to do any of that. However, you need me to write something? I'll write the heck out of something, but drawing, that's not my thing. And the sooner you get okay with that, the sooner you can move into the stuff that works for you, that you enjoy, and that makes your life kind of go seemingly and smoothingly. Well, is that a word? Should we just make that a word, smoothingly? I'm down with that. Smoothingly makes me think of a smoothie. I'm also down with that as well. Bloodhound on the tracking. And me with the select fire, I spot out that there are some targets fighting over there. It looks to be a pretty big gunfight as well. We've got our Havoc. We are geared up. 2 kills already to the name, 5 squads left, so this is at least 2 of them. It should be a bit of a bloodbath, because I'm assuming that every other squad is probably going to be showing up to this as well if they aren't already there. My teammates excited to go up onto the balloon and try to crash this party, and I am all about it, baby. Sign me up, call the Uber, split it with your boy. We are taking this thing, and I just want to get a little vision as well to make sure that no one's peeking out and seeing us coming. I've got my ultimate. I'm thinking I could land, maybe even throw it, but I don't want to miss. Root lands towards the edge. One of my boys lands right in the thick of things. Oh my god, that was narrow. Yes, it's going in. He's already down there fighting. He's become the third party. And I hope that he doesn't go down. Trying to see if I should throw it, but I think that they're under too much cover. He goes down immediately, and he now needs the revive. Gonna throw an arc star there as well. He definitely got a little too aggressive, and now it's a 2-man crew here. The caustic was hiding, but we have the R99, and we finish him off. Root now finally back in the party, but the caustic gas is down. That's right. This is our caustic down, not theirs. So this is their gas that is going to be causing us strife. We know there's somebody else coming up, and I get the high ground just to be able to see it. If my ultimate is still worth it, there's a Pathfinder, and he's trying to fight one of my teammates. He uses a great little dodge, and now it's time for me to slide jump. We get it with the hip fire, and we finish off the Pathfinder. That's at least one team, but there was another team here, wasn't there? Wasn't there? Are they still alive? I think we've gotten everybody, and maybe that's what it was. He might have helped to kill one, and we grabbed just that body armor in case someone else is coming. I didn't want to repair. We knew the body armor was there, so we make sure, in case we're going to get shot at right now, bamboozled, ambushed. We want to make sure we're safe. We get him up immediately after that, and then we continue our looting. Now, there is a turbocharger in here, which a lot of times you may want to take. If you feel like you're loving the way that your longbow is feeling, you got a wingman you don't want to change, you got some long range, a decent pressure, turbocharger is a pretty dang good option. But because I'm trying to showcase the obviously select fire for the Havoc, and what I feel is a very good way to approach this right now, I'm not going to pick that one up. Although with the amount of energy ammo I have, I easily could. And in fact, I probably have way too much energy ammo, considering the fact that I'm going for a select fire Havoc approach. If I was going for a turbocharger Havoc approach, this is actually probably the right amount. The big thing about energy ammo is you need to stockpile it, because if you don't run out of it, typically it's one of the harder ammos to come across. Lately, it hasn't been that hard to come across, and I feel like what Respawn does, I mean, this is my opinion, barrel stabilizer level 4. I love it. This is my opinion that sometimes when they test new things, they add a lot of it. Like, it's like a higher spawn rate for whatever reason. Maybe it's just me and my confirmation bias because I'm looking for it. But I feel like whenever they add the Havoc or they add, you know, new different things that they want to test, like, I find a little bit more of that energy ammo. I find a little bit more of those select fires. And maybe it's because it's like, hey, let's get feedback on how good the select fire is. Already 110 damage. This is what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. The select fire, the hit scan pressure. It's like I was right in front of him, hitting him in the dome. Couldn't quite get the full headshot, though, unfortunately. But we still got a ton of damage and essentially broke his shield. That is a big deal. And that is the power of this loadout and the power of this new gun, and why I'm just telling you guys, get on the select fire train if you can. I've really tested it out, and it is a ton of fun. And the pressure from range is super great. Now just trying to med myself up, make sure that everything's okay. I know that my teammates have a good angle on them, and I have a great angle on someone trying to retreat there as well, which is exactly what I want to do. The knockdown instantly, another 56 damage. That's 150 already, and we see that there's a Wraith who's trying to move away. I've got the angle, but she goes into the void, and so it's going to be very hard to touch her while she's in that space. We're going to follow her up as well, but she may have a portal. And if she does, that is going to be a problem. There it is. She did create the portal. That's what that was. I'm going in, baby. I got an R99. I'm going to follow this as well. She jumped up to try to make it a little bit more difficult for me. And we do have the gun shield out as well. We're going to drop that. And obviously, we have to reload. But I'm going to use my shield battery. She essentially hit me with every single shot. Root coming in. The Bloodhound trying to help things out for me. And she could be under pressure. Trying to just get the angle. Where is she now? She goes into the void. But I've got the tracking on her with the hit scan. Missed the first shot. Hit the second. And that's futile actions. Taking a futile action against the Havoc. Single fire, baby. That is all the damage you need. And that's all she got. Oh no, getting shot in from the back as well. I've got a zigzag. This is bad news bears. I am almost low. This is exactly when people die. And I'm just going to throw my ult. This is the reason I kept it, because if I need to disengage at this point, this is the thing that's going to make sure that they cannot push this gap. There's only 2 angles they can come from, all the way up the top behind me, or they're going to have to go to this right side from the door that I can see. I can see anyone coming through, so I'm going to get this Phoenix kit off, and I have stabilized. That was really, really close though, because as a big body, if you are out in the open, if you are caught out, there is almost no way that they are going to not hit you. You are just so easy of a target, especially considering how difficult that Wraith was. Gibraltar is just easy peasy lemon squeezy in comparison to that. We now see where they are. We're trying to get that one shot. The hit scan does miss though, but we know there's someone down below. We know there's someone up top. 3 members looking at us. 54 to the shield, 54 to the shield, and it's broken again. The power, and he's down. Root already cleans that one up for bullet catcher, so he's not catching any bullets at this point in time. He caught a little bit of that energy ammo, I guess, but he's now just sitting inside. 1 knocked, and we're looking to find another one. 6 kills in the game thus far, and we're looking to make it 7 and maybe 8 here as well. The hit scan pressure doesn't work. I'm trying to slide over and get some new coverage, and we do need to get a little bit of shield pressure. He gets the other knock too, so that means that there's only 1 member who is fully alive in this one. But we don't want to be crazy. They're in a house, and we know how difficult it can be to siege houses, especially if they have grenades, especially if he's probably gotten up the other member, which I would assume he is. Now 2 people fighting. So they're very low, and he's saying, let's go in. Just want to get my max shield out, because when you're in a position like this, you do not want to waste it. Clearly, he found one as well, so this guy finishes off bullet catcher yet again. That was the first one that I knocked on the top window, and there's an arc star that's been gone into the building. I'm going to hold out this outside, because if I jump in while they're both in, we are very one-dimensional, and she might be able to escape out the window. Grenades flying, and 2 members shooting. The wingman's popping off, and the caustic gas going in. They're holding down up and high, and I find out from the balcony, she's trying to go out, but she's going right back into danger. We are the champion. Queen, sing it aloud. We are the champion. There it is. That's the game. That's the victory. And that is the Havoc single fire with Gibraltar, ladies and gentlemen. So hopefully, not only in just a regular pace match, but in that high intensity first part, you can see the benefits of this hit scan weapon and the new changes to it. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your comments down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, and subscribe to stay tuned to more Rain Day Gaming. As always, my friends, never give up, never stop gaming, and I will see you all next time.